Hello once again, and today we're going to take a look at another TVC video, and this time I have something special for you. You see, I haven't made a lot of videos in a long time about this specific individual, and so I thought, well, you got nothing to do, so just pop over to TVC's channel and see what the old huckster's been up to. And what do you think I found there? The Vigilant Christian Mario making a podcast together with Brett Keane. Now, I know that some of you may not be a fan of the Drunken Peasants or of the Amazing Atheist, and who may not know who Brett Keane actually is, so I'm just going to give you a little introduction into the manatee. So, Brett Keane used to be this big atheist YouTuber back in the day when, like in early 2005 or 2006 or whenever YouTube launched. Anyway, he used to be this big atheist YouTuber in a time where 20,000, 30,000 subscribers was a lot, and he actually did inspire TJ to actually start making atheist videos. However, at some point he found himself some Jesus, and now he is what he doesn't call himself a Christian. That's very interesting. He doesn't call himself a Christian, he calls himself a God believer. He believes in the divinity of Jesus Christ, but he won't take on the label of Christian. And what's also interesting about Brett Keane is that every person he's ever befriended on the internet, be it on Google, on his Google Hangouts, on YouTube, on his Twitter account, you name it, every single one of those individuals every single one of those people he completely shat upon, basically, at some point. And yeah, it happens to everyone. It happened to the Amazing Atheist, it happened to Paul's Ego, it happened to G-Man, it happened to, I don't know whether it happened to Nephilim Free, but it happened to a shitload of people where at the beginning of their quote-unquote relationship, let's just call it that, Brett Keane is always like nice and forthcoming and, hey, you're cool, I'm awesome, let's just do our little YouTube thing. And then like 3 or 5 weeks later, he basically just shits on everybody and calls them like pedophile, or that they were harassing his family, they were attacking his family, that they said some weird shit about him, just crazy ass shit. And yeah, it basically happens to everybody that ever associates with him or has ever associated with him. So yes, that is the introduction into Brett Keane, the manatee. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to take a look at TVC's video, or we're just going to hear the audio. I'm going to see if I can actually do that. If not, I'll just have to play the video, whatever the fuck. And we're going to go through this entire interview, and yeah, you'll see very quickly why everybody that's ever befriended Brett Keane is now an enemy of his. And let's just begin.
Alright, hey everyone, it's TVC Mario, and you're here for a very special podcast. I brought on a brother in the Lord, Brett Keane, to talk about his amazing testimony. For those of you who don't know, Brett Keane used to be a popular atheist on YouTuber. In fact, he was one of the first really to come on here and make videos for atheism. Many popular atheists like TJ, the Amazing Atheist, and others actually looked up to this guy. But praise God, he's come out of atheism. He's seen the deception and the lies of that belief system, and he's come into relationship with God through Jesus Christ. And what I've done today is brought on...
Okay, so one of the important things to note here is that the picture that Mario puts up of Brett Keane is like a really, really, really old picture from like 7 years ago or something, and that's, I guess, kind of relevant. Just wait and see. And I do like the fact that he actually does say that, does actually admit that, yes, Brett Keane, as crazy and fucked up as the sounds, as crazy and fucked up as the sounds, actually did inspire TJ the Amazing Atheist, and TJ actually has admitted that. So let's go, let's continue.
Brother Brett here to share with you his awesome testimony about how he came out of atheism. So thanks so much, Brother Brett, for coming on. It's such a pleasure and an honor. Thanks so much.
Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Okay, so now we're cutting to it's obviously a live, like, not live now, but, like, obviously they are talking to each other. It's not like some pre-edited stuff. Brett Keane, the manatee, has chosen to wear a blue shirt for some reason. I don't know why, considering he knows that everybody calls him manatee, and there are, like, photoshopped images of him as a manatee, why he would wear a blue shirt, but let's just continue. Oh yeah, and he's wearing shades, by the way. And he has a vape.
Let's get this out of the way. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to just leave this. You sent me this from the viewers over here. This will be in the description section for anyone interested in seeing that.
Okay, now he's popping up some video on VidMe entitled "The Amazing Atheist Loves Brett Keane," and I'm assuming it's from, yeah, it's from Brett Keane himself. So let's see where they're going with this.
Yes, the Amazing Atheist, TJ, is saying that he used to follow and look up to Brett. Okay, so
again, yes, he has admitted this. This isn't a secret, so I don't know why the hell they would bring that up.
And the community that is the atheistic community here on YouTube. He was basically a pioneer in the movement, and such an amazing story. He's come to the Lord. So check that video out if you are interested, and also links are in the description section to check out Brett's channel. He's got his testimony, and I think he did a documentary as well, Brett. Awesome. So that'll all be linked up. We'll make sure to put that for you.
Okay, now I have no idea what Mario means when he talks about Brett Keane having a documentary. There are only two possible options, two possible situations that I could figure here. Either Mario is talking about the two interviews that Brett Keane did with TJ and Paul Zigo, or he's talking about that weird-ass expose series Brett Keane did about TJ, where he just basically said a whole bunch of stupid shit, and I have no idea what the hell Mario is even talking about here.
So, alright, thanks so much, Brett, for coming on. I'll give you the floor now, and just share with the audience here exactly how you got into atheism, and your the time on YouTube, and how you became a Christian.
Alright, whenever I was a child, I was actually a self-proclaimed Christian. I was was going to church either with my mother, or I was going with my grandmother, or I was going with...
Fuck this shit. I'm just gonna tell you his conversion story. Basically what happened was, at some point, Brett was in financial distress. Which, you know, is okay. It happens to everyone. Happened to me. Happened to a lot of people. No big deal. So, Brett Keane then decided to ask people online. He basically e-begged and said, hey, you know, I got problems with my rent. I can't pay my rent. It's like, I think it was like $2,500 or something. You know, if you were to be so kind to help me out and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, that's what he essentially did. And then he went for a walk. He went for a walk and then sat down on a bench and then said, God, I know I don't believe in you, but I'll give you one last chance. Please, God, please give me money. Make people give me money so that I can feed my family. And then because people basically gave him money, and it was primarily Christians giving him money, that somehow was a signal for him to become a Christian again. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean a God believer. As I said, he believes in the divinity of Jesus, but he's not going to take up the label of Christian. Or, well, let's qualify that. At one point he actually did. In the episode 166, the big Brett Keane episode of the Drunken Peasants, I do think he actually did call himself a Christian. No, he called himself a work in progress. Whatever the fuck that means. But since then he's kind of did a backpedal and he's now calling himself a God believer again. So yeah, that's basically why he became a Christian again, is that people gave him money and predominantly Christians gave him money, so God is real! Okay, I'm just gonna skip forward in the video, otherwise we're never gonna get through with this. Maybe I'll do a takedown of this entire thing, but we're just gonna skip ahead like let's say 10 minutes or something. Let's go to 7:30. Let's see.
Inside of me started going down.
Right.
And I started noticing that there were a lot of other non-believers who were PO'd. They were angry. I'm trying to keep this PG. And I would go into rooms, chat rooms, and social media with guys like Shock of God, Jesus Freak, Venom Thing X, very popular Christians back then. And I wanted to respect...
Yeah, and as I've already said, he's befriended a lot of these people that he actually just mentioned, and pretty much every one of those people now hates him. As I've already said, G-Man, G-Man, I don't know about Nephilim Free, but like J-Dubs is another one of his pals he has a constant back and forth with. Pretty much everyone that once liked him hates him now.
Just debate them.
Right.
I was at that point where I just wanted to do the whole calm Christopher Hitchens thing. But I would have atheists get on webcam and call these people the N-word, call them fags, call them pieces of crap and everything. I'm being nice about it, but they were horrible.
Right.
I remember having many background conversations with atheists stating, why are you treating these people like this? Venom Thing X never insulted any of us. Jesus Freak never talked to us like that. Shock of God never spit on us or treated us like crap. So why was I a part of a movement or group that was behaving so disgusting?
Right.
Well, the reason why a lot of people, well, for one thing, it's the internet. people are more or less, shall we say, anonymous, and you can pretty much get away with anything more or less in sense of, free speech, in that or you could back then. Nowadays you got all these weird ass terms of service where you're not allowed to say all this and that and blah blah blah. But one of the reasons why a lot of, again, very important, he puts this as a thing of atheists versus theists. There are a lot of theists, a lot of God believers that hate these people just as much as everybody who doesn't believe. There are Christians that hate shock of God just as much as, let's say, TJ or the Living Dinosaur back in the day made a few videos in his Holy Hallucination series. And one of the reasons why people get so angry with these predominantly creationists is because time and time and time again, we've tried to explain the same thing over and over and over again. I mean, if you watch creationist videos, it's the same arguments we've all heard. Second law of thermodynamics, there are no transitional species, macroevolution is impossible, all these bullshit arguments that that people have debunked since the dawn of YouTube creationism, you could say. And if you have to explain this shit to people time and time and time again, especially to people who've heard these arguments time and time and time and time again, you can kind of understand why people at some point will be like, fuck it, you stupid retard, I'm not talking to you anymore.
These were some of the things that were opening my mind, due to my personal experiences, as well as observing what atheists were about in society as well as on social media. I started wondering to myself, God, why did you let me remain an atheist for 10 years? Why didn't you move on me faster? And then I started realizing, wait a minute, God's been here for my daughter this whole time.
Yep, it's because God at some point decided you need money.
God's been there for me this whole time, walking me through all this nonsense. And God not only did that, but He's showing me where the battle is and who's actually causing the problem.
You are Brett Keane. You're causing all the problems. All you do on YouTube is stupid YouTube drama. I'm just going to skip ahead again, so I don't have to watch this entire thing. Let's see, just skip to 15.
Unbeliever at the time, I was defending Christians. I was fighting and saying, look, you guys need to stop this. I was against the anti-theistic atheism out there.
We're still at that.
So that is also called, you could say, militant atheism?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly. So I started going at them real hard.
Atheism.
So they, in turn, began making what is referred to troll videos, doing and saying whatever they could to drag me through the mud, to ruin my reputation, me as a person, just whatever they could do. In fact, they actually started trying to go after my jobs.
You don't have a job. Yeah, that's another important thing to know. Brett Keane does not have a job in any sense of the word job. You could say that he's a YouTuber, but he doesn't make any money off of his videos. And notice how he's like, oh, they came to me and started harassing me because I'm a God believer. I think they're harassing and trolling you because you made videos where you called a whole bunch of people pedophiles, that they were evading taxes, scammers, every shitty thing that you can call a person. Brett Keane has done it.
Started going after some of the things that I do financially. So
other popular Christian YouTubers, and if you are an atheist, I'm sure many of you are watching this video will probably find itself on the Peasant Show. I wouldn't doubt that, of course. And but really question why you have to be that way. You know what I mean? Like, why is it that you have so much hate in you that you need to operate in such a fashion? You know what I mean? Like, it's really sad. Can you kind of explain the cyberbullying and the different things that have occurred to you, your family, on the behalf of the peasants in that community?
Well, I've been sitting here talking about what they have done to Christians as well. If you...
Yeah. And while we're on this subject, something that you'll notice also when you watch Brett Keane or you listen to Brett Keane is that he has certain words, certain, shall we say, buzzwords that he always uses, and yes, it's become pretty much a joke. Remember when at the beginning where I laughed at individual and situation? Like, those are two words that he frequently uses, or at least in his, like, older videos before people have started making fun of that, making fun of him for always using these words. He used them pretty frequently. And other two words are, as you just heard, sit there and particular. Oh, and literally. He uses literally, which actually means figuratively. Which again is another thing with Brett Keane and the little posse that he does have, all these sycophants that go on his hangout. Yeah, Brett Keane has a hangout, guys. But don't worry, don't bother going on there. He's gonna kick you anyway. Another thing that Brett Keane and his stupid posse, they can't pronounce anything correctly. Like, when he made this, he had this one time in his, Paul's Ego calls it the Brett Keane cycle, where he, what was that? Yeah, he basically claimed that he had this magic YouTube license that goes through the internet and then removes any, like, non-official Brett Keane content, and he basically said something about the drunken peasants when they make videos against him. That is referred to, and write this down, children, when you talk shit about someone, that is referred to as liability and slander. Yeah. Liability and slander, as opposed to liable and slander. Or another dipshit on his hangout couldn't pronounce polyamorous. Like, these two words, I don't know if it's one word, but the way he said it was like, polymorous. Yeah, polymorous. It's like, why can't any of you fuckwits pronounce anything correctly? I'm sorry. Let's just get on with it.
Don't mind, I'd like to also add that I've seen atheists destroy each other.
Yeah.
I've seen these wicked folks call each other's jobs, cost each other their own jobs and opportunities and things in their life. But for me personally...
Name one. Brett Keane. Name one.
I put my number out there, and some people are going to say, well, if you put your number out there, you get what's coming to you if you're that kind of sick person to think that way. Right. But, I offer my number to help people and also be kind of a peacemaker to help people in case they're...
Oh, yeah. That was another interesting little bit in Brett Keane's YouTube career, where he made several videos for a time where he put his number, his Google, I think it's a Google Voice number or something, on his videos, and of course people trolled him and harassed him and all that stupid shit. Yeah, and then he went on bitching and complaining that atheists troll and harass me and it's like, Brett, you put your own number on your videos and asked people to call you. So yeah, it's not like he put his number up and just hoped out of the blue that people would call him and ask him for advice. He actually encouraged people to call him. And when these people then call him and then troll and harass him, he cries. He just sits in the corner and cries. Yeah. This is the classic Brett Keane. He can't keep anything straight for any kind of narrative he's trying to spin or something. Let's just continue.
Hurting. Right. So they call up, they threaten to rape my wife, they threaten to kill my family. Some of them have said that they will hurt my family right in front of me very slowly and watch me, go out of my mind.
Again, those are trolls.
They have said the most terrible things. They dropped my home address. They've at any place I've ever lived, they make sure they find that information.
What do you mean ever lived? We know, now this is the thing that we actually know. Brett Keane lives in Festus, Missouri. Everybody knows that, that's fine. But I don't know his address. Like no one actually knows, except maybe his little friends that he does have, know his actual address, the actual house number and street name. Nobody knows that. So who put that out there, Brett?
Put it out there. And it's just a never-ending pool of madness and nonsense. Nowadays, it's really difficult for me to have any kind of space or privacy or any kind of social media experience, making friends, because they have literally flooded the internet with, don't listen to Brett.
See what I mean? Literally.
He's terrible. Because I was one of them and now I'm not. So now I'm a hopeful.
You're a threat. You're a threat to the movement.
No, Brett, you're just a shitty asshole instigating drama on YouTube.
For an interview, I didn't fault.
You're just a shitty guy on YouTube that instigates drama and then cries and bitches when you get your karma.
Well, did he end up coming on the show and being interviewed?
Yes, he did.
Oh, yeah,
and I also interviewed Paul Zigo as well.
Which, by the way, I forgot to mention that. Brett, as I said, Brett actually did interview TJ, the Amazing Atheist, and Paul Zigo. And the funny thing is, he didn't bullshit it this time. So it's really weird actually watching this, because Brett Keane actually does have some level of professionalism, I'd almost say. I watched some of it. He asked TJ certain questions, and sure, yeah, I guess some of them were a bit more, shall we say, intense, if that makes any sense. Where TJ actually did have to be a bit more open. You know what I mean? A bit more tougher questions. But all in all, it wasn't actually that bad. So, what the hell happened? Did he take his meds for once?
The other two, Ben and Scotty, they kind of, I don't know if I should use this word, but they chickened out.
No, they did not chicken out. Scotty said in episode 305, I believe, the one where Paul Zigo goes on a rant about Chris Anderson, aka Fake Sagan. On that episode, Scotty said very clearly that he would never do an interview with you because there's no point of making an interview with Scotty because Scotty doesn't like him. That's his reasoning. Not because he chickened out. Chickened out would imply that Scotty agreed to that, but then somehow, for some reason, decided, no, not gonna do it. And what's even more interesting, as I've just said, the interviews that he did with Brett Keane, with Paul Zigo and TJ, they were quite good. Then, on the episode I just mentioned, the peasants show a video of Brett Keane and Fake Sagan making a sort of mock interview with Scotty, where Fake Sagan pretends to be Scotty. And yeah, he makes this mock interview where he's basically trying to make fun of Scotty. So, as you can see, there's no narrative with this guy, with Brett Keane. He's either gonna, you have no idea what to expect from that guy. Apart from the usual things that we know he does, the Brett Keane cycle.
Anything in closing, brother, you wanted to just share? Maybe your testimony, some thoughts on atheism, maybe just also let viewers know what you're up to and stuff like that?
I would say to people out there, be careful. You might meet some non-believers out there who seem very nice and very cool. I just recently had a horrible experience where I had a non-believer who was pretending to be my friend for over a year and a half, and according to Atheists, apparently he was a fan of the drunken peasants and decided to pretend he was my pal so he could try to record juicy stuff and do all that kind of stuff. So be careful. Some of them can really, really pretend as though they love you and care about you and they're there for you, but they will.
Yeah, okay. So there are two options to this. To this scenario. Either Brett Keane made this entire thing up and it's actually projection, because that's what he does, or this is again just another thing where Brett Keane at some point has this like atheist pet friend, if you will, that he'll just befriend this atheist and be like, oh look, check out my newest friend, Positively Godless. He's a nice chap. He's a nice individual. And then, after 4-5 weeks later, he just shits in everybody's mouth. And, that's basically the Brett Keane MO. This is what you can expect from this guy. So I'm not quite sure what Brett Keane is talking about here.
Thank you for giving the opportunity. Just saying, I also want to say bless everybody's family out there. I hope that my testimony helps you. And anytime Mr. Christian Vigilant wants to have me on and talk to me,
Christian Vigilant.
To be here.
See what I mean with not being able to pronounce anything correctly? You're on this guy's channel. This guy's name is The Vigilant Christian, and not the Christian Vigilant Situation, or whatever the hell. He can't pronounce anything right.
So I am going to be going on your show as well.
Oh shit!
A reverse interview where
I have some words to say
interviewed.
about that.
So you guys can make sure to stay tuned for that as well. Anything else, brother?
That's pretty much all I have to say. Thank you for having me, and God bless you.
Awesome. So thanks so much for sharing. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Stay vigilant and fear no evil.
Hey, wait a minute. You forgot Brett. You forgot to plug games you love. You totally forgot that. That's another staple of Brett Keane, of Brett Keane's MO. Pretty much the beginning of every Brett Keane video is the same, where he always has, well, for one thing, he does have, or did, or whatever, he did have a cool intro, and it's essentially a cover of Final Countdown with like Jesus and lightning, and it is an epic intro, but the intro then cuts to this fat tub of shit most of the time, lying in his bed, being like, oh, amazing atheist situation, he makes fun of me on the fucking peasants. You know, that intro does not fit what comes after that. And what comes after that is usually always the same. He's like, hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Brett Keane from God TV Radio. Please make sure to check out my gaming channel, Games of Love. It's pretty much the same thing. You can, I can pretty much say that in my sleep now. I watched so many drunken peasant episodes with Brett Keane in them. Yeah. But sadly, despite all this making fun of Brett Keane and telling you about his MOs and having some fun on his expense, I mean, you heard what the Vigilant Christian said right at the end there. This is the end, by the way. There's nothing more in this video. Where he said, I'm looking forward to being on your show. As I've already explained, pretty much everyone that Brett Keane has ever befriended now hates him. So, you know where I'm going with this? The Vigilant Christian suddenly teaming up with Brett Keane, going on his hangouts, you know, just like G-Man, just like Nephilim Free, just like all the other God believers, you know, the other, not just atheists, but Christians that fell for Brett Keane's bullshit. So, Mario, or, you know, friends of Mario that might be watching this video that are, you know, basically troll subscribers of mine, watch out, dude. And I'm not being a dick here, really. Watch out for this guy. I'm gonna prophesy, I'm gonna be a biblical prophet, a YouTube prophet, that in 3 to 5 weeks, if Brett Keane and the Vigilant Christian befriend each other, in 3 to 5 weeks we're gonna have a video on Mario's channel saying, you know, Brett Keane totally scammed me, Brett Keane totally dissed me bad, he called me a scam artist, a pedophile, a fake Christian, which of course for, you know, these people that's some kind of insult. But, you know, he completely shit in my mouth, and, you know, we rebuke Brett with the power of Jesus, and yeah. Let's see what becomes of this. What becomes of this friendship between Brett Keane and the Vigilant Christian Mario. So, with that said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, whatever, and we're gonna see each other in the next video. Take care.